Welcome to Around Town, featuring what's happening here in the greater Concord Heights area today. And right now we're listening to Mother Nature throw her bangs and wangs and everything else out there with some lightning and some thunder. But hopefully she'll go around us and wave at us as she goes. But with me today, as we get ready for the big festive 4th of July weekend coming up, and with me is Brad Osgood, our Concord Police Chief, and it is such a pleasure having him come on. I really love it because, you can keep us in the know of what's going on, and it's funny how you read things and you think, that happened here? That's going on here? It's like you get bits and pieces, but then you start to wonder, where the heck was I? I was here. I don't remember hearing that. But your guys now with graduation over with, and of course market days is over with, and now you're getting ready for the big 4th of July festival up at Memorial Field. And then after that, I don't know how much the car races bother Concord much. Motorcycles always go to Laconia, but do the car races. But anyway, so I assume you're getting ready for 4th of July, and you get all your people in place so far? And
yeah, so far. So the big celebration obviously is on the 4th at Memorial Field with the fireworks. So in a way, it's kind of nice that it's in the middle of the week. If it's on a Friday or a Monday or a Sunday, it's a little bit different. But no, I'm hopeful that it'll be a nice day, and families will come out to the event at Memorial Field. It's always well attended. It's always a good event. We don't generally have too many problems.
What do you figure is up there? About 10,000, 20,000 people, or what do you?
Oh, I would say in the 10,000 range, and they're scattered all over.
Oh yeah, you've got them on Clinton Street, Pleasant Street. I've always heard that. Well, I know the Methodist Church has an event going on usually, and the Mormon Church has something going on usually. I don't know about Trinity, and I thought they said there was something that they have vendors over at, that park over there off of Ironworks Road. There's some vendors out there or something.
I just urge that, I encourage families to come out and enjoy the celebration. But I just also would like to say that, when the event is over, the celebration is over, it's dark out, parking is a problem, traffic is a problem. So just exercise a great deal of patience and courtesy, and we'll get you out of there as quickly and efficiently as possible.
We got smart, and I hate to say it, but last number of years we park up on South Fruit Street going toward, because you have it going one way. So we're parked going towards the high school, and we usually sit right up there by the roadside up. Well, you've got 2 entrances into that parking lot. We usually right by them. There's a big spruce tree right there on the right near us on the right. If we're sitting on the right, and then we're usually right there. So, but usually when the finale starts, we pack up and we're ready to roll out of there. Because the minute that last one goes, we're gone. Yeah. Because I know what it's like. It is a haven for worse than Times Square, I think, because I'm telling you, I can't imagine it down there.
That's actually prime viewing territory where you're at. We'll probably have to charge admission for that this year.
Well, yes, I know. Yes, that reminds me. But I forget. I ain't gonna tell you what it is. But if you would please take that back from me.
Did I write that?
No, somebody else did. And
I haven't written a parking ticket in it's got to be over 20 years.
Well, thank you for mentioning it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was going to the doctor. I had to go to the doctor's yesterday at 4. They moved my appointment to 4 and trying to get a parking place on that Warren Street area. And I'm telling you, I had to ride around 3 times. I was 5 minutes late getting into my appointment. And when I came out, there was that little holly jolly thing on my thing. And of course, I forgot my placard wasn't up there. and I forget that you have to get one of those little stickers for your parking meter. But anyway, they told me just to get some things copied and I can give it to you, and you take it in them. But you're right. I mean, that is of course, you got the Salvation Army there, McKenna House, that they also have parking that they will ask for a donation to park there. And then, of course, across the street in that field, they park over there on the State Hospital field.
You know, there was talk, I want to say last year or 2 years ago, about moving the fireworks to on this side of the river.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, what they wanted to do was, yes, partially you're right. Downtown was kind of talking about having it come downtown, shooting it off somewhere, either in the cornfields or somewhere down near the railroad tracks or what, I don't know. But they were hoping that those restaurants or whatever on Main Street that had like balconies or whatever, people could sit up there and watch them, you know. And it was really it didn't go over well because traditionalists know that every 4th of July you make the trek up to Memorial Field and with your blanket or with your lawn chair and sit there and listen to Nevers Band, and that's tradition. You know, to bring it downtown or wherever, it just wouldn't be the same. And then they talked about having Nevers Band over at the arena and then the fireworks across the road and then whatever else. And that didn't seem to wash too much. So, you know, it's just finale, leave it alone.
Yeah, the other public service announcement that I have for people attending the fireworks is they rope off certain areas for a reason, for safety. And the company that's putting on the display will not start if there are people within those boundaries. So we've got to, that's something we always are doing as police, is keeping people out of those restricted areas.
Yeah.
So I just ask people to be mindful of those areas.
Well, years ago, Chief, there used to be, before that fence was up around the football field, they would, of course, they had the ground displays years ago. The bandwagon would be like on the corner down there, and then, yep, I guess so. Then you had ground displays all across at the end, and then Nevers was on the corner. Then you had that set of bleachers on that right side. Then, of course, across the field, you had all those the whole big grandstand over there. But now, I don't know what happened when that stopped, but now they don't have any more ground displays like they used to.
Right.
Do you remember those at all?
I don't. I've seen them before, but I don't remember the last time that they would have had them in Concord.
Well, they had it's funny. This is how funny how things have changed. They used to have there was like a clothesline that would have like different things going off, fireworks going off. Then they'd have like spinning wheels going around. Then at the very end, the finale was nothing up in the air. The finale was they had 2 battleships on each side of the field, and they would start like shooting at each other. And then, obviously, one battleship sunk somewhat, or just went dark, and the winning one. And then in between them was the United States flag, and that would light up, and that was the finale. Well, it's gone now, and now we have all these massive up in the fireworks up in the sky. But yeah, that's what it was, the ground displays. I don't know if anybody does them anymore. And but that's what it was. And we always sat on that side of the field by the Nevers Band. But the trouble was when the fireworks went off, the people in the grandstand, sometimes those sparks would come down and hit on them in there.
Yeah,
it wasn't fun. But and then of course you had vendors all around the field, and you had like 5 or 6 vendors at least. You had, I know one in particular was Dan's Ice Cream, or Tom Pisano's father, had an ice cream truck there, and he would be out there parked, and you had a cotton candy one. You'd have the caramel apples there, or, you would have popcorn, of course. And now you don't have hardly anybody. And I think it's because of the prices that they're charging these people to go in there. But anyhow, it was that was it. Now, of course, they moved the bandwagon out of the infield, out into the grassy area there, and the people tend to fill in there. I mean, but it's fun, as you mentioned, as it gets darker, of course, you see the mobs of people coming down South Fruit Street from Pleasant Street, or maybe the other end coming up. I don't see that side, but we're watching, and boy, from 8 o'clock until 9. And I don't understand too, why do people bring animals, dogs, to this stuff? I thought there was an ordinance against dogs in the city parks.
Well, they have to be leashed. A lot of dogs are sensitive to those
I know.
sounds, and I mean, I can't speak. I've never brought my dogs to a fireworks celebration.
I mean, it's bad bringing a baby to something like that.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of babies down there. But I always said, I thought there was an ordinance. And smoking. I thought you couldn't smoke in the city parks.
Yeah.
I thought that ordinance still stood.
Yeah, I'll have to check on that. I didn't notice last year with a lot of people smoking. One of the things that I did notice is people in the wood line were lighting up hibachi grills. And
Where was the wood line?
Right along behind the Salvation Army.
Oh, yeah.
They were cooking food, which you can't have fires, campfires.
Yeah.
So leave your campfires at home. No alcohol. It's supposed to be family friendly, and just be mindful. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of children there, and it's a very family friendly environment.
And plus, as I talked to you back a couple of times before about how people bring sparklers and let the kids light them up, and then all of a sudden they throw them, and it's like, wait a minute here, you ain't supposed to be doing that stuff. Somebody's gonna get burnt.
Yeah, it's fire. Yeah.
I've
never been a fan of fireworks.
Really? Yeah.
Meaning personal
I love
fireworks.
I love them.
I mean, I don't mind watching the displays and the celebration, but for personal use, I've never been a fan of.
No, we've never had them either. Sometimes we can hear from where we live, somebody in that neighborhood of Manchester Street. They've got some powerful ones somewhere there. I don't know if it's behind us up on Airport Road or Manchester Street, or if it's over on Garvin Falls Road out in that area. I don't know, but somebody has got some powerful stuff. When it's usually right after that, when they're at Memorial Field, when you get home, about 11 o'clock, you'll hear them. But you're right, this year where it's not, it's a Tuesday night, you'll be anxious to see what does happen, because...
Yeah, I would suspect that, as far as the city of Concord is concerned, about residents and neighbors calling the police regarding fireworks to begin probably this Friday, June 30th. I think that's June 30th.
Yeah.
Probably we'll get various complaints, noise disturbances throughout the weekend, and probably into next weekend. And that's pretty much it for fireworks complaints that we'll get, is probably a week long.
Yeah.
And the complaints that we'll get will be occurring late at night, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And those are disturbing the peace at that point.
So, off with that one. Anyway, I seen in the paper the budget's passed today, last night, and sounds like you did fairly well with it. They did mention the community service officer there, and
yeah, I can't complain. I think the budget is fully funded. All the positions are fully funded, and as a matter of fact, the council did add that position. It's a part-time position. It's worth approximately $30,000 annually. But that position we've had in the past, and it really takes a lot of relief off of the patrol officers handling some non-emergency, non-critical things. And so we'll keep that person very busy. And, the advertisement and solicitation for applications will probably occur just after the 4th of July.
Wow.
So if anybody's watching and interested in a part-time job at the police department, watch for that on the city's website.
Yeah, that's good, because it'll take a little load off your officers anyway. How did they make out with market days? There must have been any problems there.
No, it was fairly uneventful, as far as the police is concerned. No, it went well. It was, I heard it was well attended. I didn't actually make it down to it this year. I was tied up every single day.
Yeah, we were in Florida, so we didn't make it down there. But I heard it was, from what I could gather, it was well attended. I mean, it was so hot. I just can't imagine anybody down in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So what's on now? I see, I saw in the paper too, we had somebody from Concord that, I don't understand why people, and I'm not saying just men, but women too, but what in the world do they get out of beating up a child? I saw where one was arrested there and got taken to his court case. He's going to prison now. It's awful. What is the matter with people? This poor little girl, that died or something there. I just don't understand how they could do such a thing. I think it was a girl in that case, I think. But.
Yeah, I think, you're talking about physical child abuse. It's something that, unfortunately does occur in society. It's very underreported, very difficult for the child to report that type of situation to another parent, a neighbor, the police, a teacher. But those things do happen in our community and communities across this country. And, the police department, we take that stuff very seriously. I think we talked about bullying in schools on a previous episode.
Yeah.
But we as a police department, and we always take that very serious, and we will go to great lengths to investigate those and ensure that those responsible are held accountable.
Oh, I can't believe it. Every time I hear this on the news or whatever, it's like, what is the matter with these people? A harmless, a little child who's really very not able to defend themselves, and to be beaten up or killed. It just makes me sick. But, I don't understand it. In Concord, though, I guess in Concord, we're fairly lucky in a way. We don't have too many of those.
No, we don't have many. Many of the cases that we do have never really make it to a newspaper or television. They just kind of fly under the radar and are held at the district or superior court. Sometimes they do make it into the TV or the newspaper, and but that stuff does happen. We're not immune to that in this community, and but it's not prevalent that we're reporting on this every single day. By and large, we have a very good community, but this stuff does happen, and we will hold people accountable.
And looks like we're getting more apartment buildings, and I don't know where it's going to end. Sometimes I just wonder. And of course, the state prison for women, I guess they've delayed that now, so that's not going to open up yet.
Yeah. Well, you've been in this community far longer than most, and you've seen the change from when you were a youngster to where it is today. I've been in this community for 28 years, and I can reflect on all the changes that I've seen just in 28 years.
Yes.
And I can only imagine when I come back to this community 25 years from today, what this community is going to look like.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And that's that's life. That's change, and you have to embrace change.
I know.
And it's just the sign of the times.
I know it, but it's so hard to I don't know. Of course, they were talking about in the paper the other day, and we had this on our committee this year at the State House about these automobiles now that they're developing that they don't need a driver, that you just get in the car and it takes you wherever you want.
Yes.
How in the world? I wouldn't dare get in a car. That would freak me out. I don't know. And they're also making it so a blind person could get in the car and go for a ride like that without having to worry about it.
Yeah.
How can they do that? I don't understand.
Well, that's technology. That's superior engineering. That's a concept called the acceleration of technology. I do envision, and I'm not a tech person, but I do envision a day when we will have essentially driverless cars.
Yeah.
And you will just hop in a car, or there's even talk of a subscription service where you just get on your iPad or your tablet and you just order a car and you go out to your driveway and there's a car. So you don't even own a car. One just shows up.
Yeah.
It's like a taxi.
Sure.
And you just punch in that you want to go to, 1 South Main Street, Concord, and you sit back and listen to music, drink your coffee, and the car will obey the speed limit, all traffic controlled. It'll stop at stop signs, red lights, and it will get you there injury-free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to think about. Hard to imagine that.
I know, because like with you, I mean, is that going to put your offices out of job? I mean, they don't have to worry about speeding them anymore. I mean, it's going to. I just don't know for the life of me how that can work like that.
Well, if that were ever to come to fruition, which it will, I won't be around for it.
Not even a lie either. I don't worry about it.
But you're right. It will. There will be no speeding. There will be no drunk driving. There will be no traffic accidents. Will it reduce the number of police officers? No, it won't. It will redirect them from doing traffic-related stuff to whatever else technology has given us.
I know it.
When I started, there was no such thing as computer crime. And today, there's computer crime. And so technology and change will always create some other thing for police service.
Sure.
And so we won't reduce staff. We'll probably have increased staff at that point. We just won't be doing traffic accidents in DWIs. Far different. It's very hard to imagine, but
I mean, like I said, we had a bill that came into our committee about that. And, of course, it is a long way down the road, but they wanted to get it started. And I thought, my goodness, I just don't understand how they could do it.
Yeah. Well, another thing, so as an executive leader, as a state rep or a city manager or a city councilor, or a local government, you always have to consider if this is the change that's coming, whether or not it's 10 years or 15 years down the road. Think about municipalities and their revenue that they get off motor vehicle registrations. What happens if people don't own cars anymore?
Yeah.
There is a subscription service. Think about the lost revenue that you're going to have as a community.
Sure.
How are you going to replace that?
Yeah.
So it is prudent for government leaders to actually be thinking way ahead of the curve, even though it may sound strange. For like a lot of people that this will never happen. It can happen. Government leaders have to be visionaries and think about these things and how it will impact their communities in the future.
I just can't imagine it, because think that a car is going to do all your driving, shipping, or whatever, and you tell it what to do, I guess. So I don't know.
Yeah, I went to a seminar not too long ago, and they were actually talking about this technology, and what engineers and scientists are actually studying is like schools of fish. You ever walk through the lake or the ocean, you have the little minnows,
yeah,
and there's hundreds of them, and as you're walking in the water, they never touch you. They go right around you, and they never bump into each other. And so that's the same technology that the auto industry is looking at, is how can we get cars to do exactly that without crashing into each other?
I don't know. It's I can tell, like I said, I won't be here, that's for sure, but I just can't imagine what it would be.
Well, you'll be here, but you just won't be driving.
I probably won't know what's going on. Probably I don't even know what they're doing. But can you imagine that, though? Compared to what it was, well, so you go back to 1907, 1917, 100 years ago. And look at today.
Yeah. Well, today we have cars that parallel park themselves.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there are cars that you just stop, you press a button, and the car actually parallel parks itself for you.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, those exist today.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
You can buy a car that has that technology.
But don't you have to line it up first?
No, it's all done by cameras and, well, I don't know, I've never done it, but you just pull up to a spot, you hit a button, and the thing parks itself for you.
I mean, I love to watch people parallel park now. I mean,
yeah, it's a lost art.
Oh yes, I mean when we had to do driver training, and then of course when the teacher took us out, that was one of the things we had to learn how to do, because we knew when we got to motor vehicle for our test, you were going to get tested on parallel parking. And if you couldn't parallel park, you probably wouldn't pass your test.
That's correct.
And now they get somebody's going to tell you how to do it. Oh, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. If you're a 16-year-old, you go get your license and you just press a button and it parks itself for you.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I can't imagine that. Well, we're coming down to minute 17 there, Chief. And what else is on the agenda quickly before we have you come back on again? Anything else you want to mention? Or?
No,
National Night Out.
National Night Out is Monday, August 1st. First Tuesday in August at Rollins Park.
Monday or Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
You said Monday.
Did I say Monday?
Yeah.
It's the first Tuesday.
In August.
Okay. We usually have several thousand people there.
Yeah.
It's well attended, very family friendly. I hope to be on this show before then, so we can talk more about that.
You will be.
Summer is coming. The pools are open. It's staying lighter out at night, and we're expecting a busy summer and a safe summer.
But a day like today now, with this thunder and lightning things, they do shut them down, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course we've got the Grange has their meet, eat, and greet night over here on July 25th at Keach Park, and Nevers Band plays afterwards with free hot dogs and all that stuff, and community's invited, and reaching out to our new citizens on the community, but who knows. With that in mind, we want to thank you there, Chief, for coming in again, and I love it. Like I said, that door is always open to you anytime, and bring us up to date what's going on in the capital city.
Certainly.
So, with that in mind, thank you to Ian Marx, my director, and to, again, Concord Police Chief Brad Osgood. And enjoy the 4th of July coming up. Have a safe and happy 4th. And just remember, it's 6 months to Christmas. It's coming fast. Or 5 months and how many days. But anyway. So with that in mind, I'm Dick Patten. Have a great day. Great holiday.